Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My question is to the Minister of Labour. I think all members of this House would agree that the events of the past week in Ottawa have demonstrated once again the enormously important role that police and other first responders play in protecting our safety and our security. And in the opinion of New Democrats, there would be no better way for this House to show its gratitude and respect for those first responders than to pass my Bill 2 on post-traumatic stress disorder and the WSIB. If passed, the presumptive legislation would mean that it would be presumed that front-line responders suffering from PTSD acquired the illness on the job and therefore are eligible for WSIB benefits. Will this government commit to passing presumptive legislation with regards to PTSD now so that our first responders get the help they need immediately?
Minister of Labour.
Thank you, Speaker, and let me thank the member for the courtesy she's extended by asking this question. I think it's a question that's of interest to all members of this House, and I think we all agree that we owe to our first responders our best efforts when it comes to putting the best legislation in place to deal with the emerging issue of post-traumatic stress disorder, mental health in general in the workplace. What we've done in the past 24 months is we've had a roundtable at the Ministry of Labour. We brought all the first responders together. We brought our people from policing, firefighting, emergency medical services, transit services, healthcare services, including nurses. They've given us their best advice as to how to deal with PTSD. I agree that dealing with the WSIB component of that is a major part of that, and I commit to working with you to make sure we implement the best possible.
Thank you. Supplementary.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And back to the Minister. He heard from all of those first responders that their major demand is exactly this presumptive legislation. So I'm going to ask again on their behalf. Our first responders need presumptive legislation passed now, not more roundtables, not just a conference in 2015. So I ask again, will the government commit today to passing presumptive legislation with regards to PTSD for first responders?
Thank you, Minister.
Thank you, Speaker, and thank you again to the member from Parkdale High Park for her supplementary. What I will commit to, Speaker, is to investigating every possible way of addressing this. There are other jurisdictions in Canada, for example, that have a different way of dealing with this. Alberta, for example, I think has made some changes as late as 2012 in the way that we deal with it. We're taking a very, very serious look at what you proposed in Bill 2, but let me tell you what we are doing. We've committed about $4.5 million to the OPP to deal with mental health issues. The Office of the Fire Marshal is now providing PTSD training to all its fire investigators. The Ontario Fire College is also implementing a mental health awareness course. So, Speaker, I think we all have a role to play in this. I commit to the member, I commit to this House, that we're going to do the best possible for the people that protect us.